Hello everyone, welcome back to Cooking with Donna. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there and ready for the holidays. And for a holiday dessert, a lot of times I like to make this up, the sticky toffee pudding. And it's more like a little cake, but real moist, and we'll put some toffee syrup all over top of it. It's heaven on a plate. It's a really good dessert. Now you can make them in ramekins, or I like to use good old just a muffin pan, your standard muffin pan. Lightly oil it and put some flour in it. You'll get between 12 to 14, and it just depends. Just cook them till they're done with a toothpick. Don't overbake them. Always key never to overbake your goods. But I wanted to share this with you guys, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, let me move this out of the way, actually. I've been boiling over here my dates and my water. So in here I have like 12 large, and if you can find these, I highly recommend them. It's the fresh Medjool dates. They're really large. They're huge dates. And I use like 12 to 13. Sometimes I'll put 14 and look like a big old raisin. But just a good sized packed cup, which is about 13, I'd say. And if you can't find these, in my area, you can find them over there in the produce, where the fresh produce is at. That's where I find mine. They're a bit pricey, but they're worth it. If you're going to make this kind of dessert, they're well worth the purchase if you can, spare that extra change. And if not, you can use the ones that we find where all of our dried fruit's at in the baking aisle. So, and if you find these, just use the whole 8-ounce pack. And if you got a few extra at home, add another 5 or 6 of them, because these are smaller. But one package of these will work. Okay, but the Medjools, if you can find them, I highly recommend. Loaded with flavor and healthy. Okay, now I have those in there, and what I did was just diced them all up. They'll get nice and pasty, and you want to just keep chopping. Just, because if you try to just chop like this, they're going to stick. Once you get them good, just start chopping really good. Or you could put them in the blender with a little bit of the liquid. But I like to chop them and get them nice and pasty. And that's what I have in there with a 1.5 cups of water. And I brought that to a hard boil for about a minute, turned it off. Now to that, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda to that. That's 1 teaspoon of baking soda. This just helps breaking it all down and stuff and getting it ready for us. And I have 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. And I have 2 tablespoons of molasses. That's 2 tablespoons. This adds tons of flavor to it also. You don't really taste it. It just blends in with everything. Helps moisten it. Gets it a little bit more sticky. They're actually like a little, really nice little cupcake, but really, they're nice and moist, and like I said, it pairs well with the sticky syrup we're going to put on top of them after they're done. So we're going to get this mixed up, and we're just going to let it hang out. It'll cool down just a little bit. It's still going to be warm when you add it to your... It kind of reacts, that baking soda, like it would a peanut brittle. Starts foaming up. That's what you want it to do. Get that all mixed in there, those molasses. All right. Now we'll move this out of the way. Now, like I say, if I ever forget anything, look in the description and I will pin it. Get your oven preheated to 350. I missed it again. At least I don't think I said it, but 350, guys. Oven 350. Here I have my all-purpose flour. And to that, we're going to be adding 1.25 teaspoons of baking powder. That's 1.25 teaspoons. And in there, I had 1/4 teaspoon of salt with that. Okay, so that's your 1 2/3 cups of flour, your 1 1¼ teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're just going to whisk this up. Get it whisked up good. I see that. Well, hopefully everybody's got their shopping done. I don't. I'm missing 2 gifts, so I got to go back to town after a while and finish up. But I won't be on again till next week, guys. You guys all have a Merry Christmas, and you guys stay safe and enjoy your time with your loved ones. That's what it's all about, right? That's what it's all about. All right, that's mixed up. Now we'll get this out of the way, and here I have my butter, and I'm going to cream that with 3/4 cups of brown sugar. You can use dark or regular. I didn't have any dark, so I'm going with my regular brown sugar. So in there, like I said, I don't even know if I said, I got 6 tablespoons of soft butter. Bring your butter to room temperature, okay? And to that, I'm going to add in 3/4 cups of slightly packed brown sugar. That's 3/4 cups. And 1/4 cup of white sugar. And I'm going to mix this and cream it really well. I think I'm going to have to start using a blender pretty soon because my wrists are getting worse. But I'm going to go ahead and get this mixed up. Maybe even get my beater out. I don't know. But I'm just going to cream this for maybe a minute or so, and then we'll get some eggs in. All right, got that mixed. Now I have my room temperature eggs. Make sure your eggs are at room temperature. They blend in better that way. I almost dropped this thing on my toe over here. Okay, there's 1. Medium or large eggs will work. Get 1 mixed in. And then we'll add our second. Okay. This is a very pretty and delicious dessert. All right. That's just about mixed up. Okay, now to this, got that all mixed up. We're going to add our dry into that, which is our flour and our baking powder and our salt. Okay, and don't overmix. A little bit at a time, just until that flour starts absorbing that moisture. A little bit at a time. And then we'll get our date mixture in here. It's not hard at all. It's a simple dessert actually, but very decadent. It's a nice little decadent dessert. Now the ramekins for me are a bit big, or you can get the real small ones, but I don't really use ramekins, to be honest. I always stick with my muffin pan. Now I have that somewhat mixed. Whoa. Here is our date mixture. Making sure you guys can see here. This is still warm. Not hot, but warm. Yummy goodness right there. Get it all out. Okay. Now I'll just get this stirred up. Remembering not to overmix too much. Just until that's all in there. Mixed all up, those dates. And that should do it. Okay. Now let me get my, like I said, oiled and floured. Or you can spray it with your Pam baking spray or your Joy baking spray. I've always been old school. I just use my good old canola oil. Oil it with my hands and put some flour in there. Lightly dust it with some flour. Alright, now we're going to fill these almost to the top. Usually when I make these I'll have a little bit left and I can make another 2 or 3. You see there? You're going to put them fairly, and when I oil this, I oil it up on top too. That way the tops, if they overgo a little bit, they don't stick. And try to use a non-stick pan for these guys, or those little disposable aluminum ones. Those ones work well too, but this one's non-stick. So they come out pretty good. I'm using here a 1/4 cup. A good sized 1/4 cup. Kind of heaping. You can see what I'm doing there. Get it all out. But I'll get this filled up and we'll get them in the oven, guys, at 350. And they take about 18 to 22 minutes. I'll bring it up every time I bake anything. Watch your oven, because your oven could bake faster or it could take longer. Insert a toothpick. If it's clean, it's done. But normally, set 18 to 20 minutes and they're done. So just keep an eye on them. We'll get them in the oven, 350. All right, to this, this is going to be our toffee syrup that goes on top of our sticky pudding. So to that I have 1 stick, which is 1/2 cup of real sweet cream butter, the real butter. If you're going to make this kind of dessert, I highly suggest using real butter. All right, and I have, where's my 1/2 cup of cream. I'm going to be adding to that if I can find my cup. 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Can you guys see that? Heavy cream. That's 1/2 cup. And I have 1 packed cup of light brown sugar. Like I said, you could use dark or light. Whatever one you have will work. Alright, now I'm going to cook this to a boil, a gentle boil, medium high actually, and just let it cook until you feel no more granulation from the sugar, till all of your brown sugar is dissolved. And this can take maybe 4 to 6 minutes. You're just going to cook it to this, all that sugar is dissolved and it's nice and bubbly. All right, let me get this finished. Now see, like mine hasn't came to a boil yet, but it feels like it's dissolving already because of that warm butter that was already melting in there. But make sure you bring it to a boil, because it is important, you know, making sure all that sugar is dissolved, and a good boil to help thicken it. So it usually takes about 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes tops. And don't walk away. Keep stirring. You don't want it to scorch and burn. Okay, you don't want to ruin it, so keep stirring the whole time. All right, guys. Now I tried mine. Like I said, our ovens vary. So mine only took 17 minutes. So keep an eye on it. Now if you're using a ramekin or any, you can even use a cake pan. Make the sizes you want. As long as this toothpick comes out clean, it's done. But if you're going to make standard cupcake ones, Mine took 17 minutes. So just let them cool, maybe a minute or two, and they'll pop right up out of there for you. See? So we're going to let these cool, and I'll lay them upside down. And if you get too big of a muffin top on yours, when you flip it, you can by all means cut the little muffin off, and then it'll stand more evenly for you. So I'm going to just get these out, but keep in mind, sticky toffee puddings are meant to be served warm. I mean, that's like key. You know, you got to eat them warm. So I'm going to let them just sit here maybe a few minutes, and we'll eat them warm. You don't want to eat these hot. Burn your mouth because they are hot. So let me get these out of here, and we'll get one plated up for you. All right, there it is. I kind of had a muffin top on mine. So what you can do, like I said, is just turn it over and cut it. It'll lay flat for you. I wanted to assemble this, put it together with you guys. And here is our toffee sauce. We're going to put over top of it. Now, like I said, you got to serve this warm. It's a tradition. This is a Britain dessert. And then put much as you want, but it is a very rich dessert with this. But it makes it that syrup, of course, that buttery toffee. And then the tradition is a little bit of your heavy cream that kind of balances out your sweetness. Much as you want. And there you have it. There's your sticky toffee pudding. But I wanted to get on and share it with y'all. I'm going to pass this in there to my sister. She's waiting on it. So you guys have a very Merry Christmas, and we will see you guys next time. And hopefully this is something you'll start to share for your Christmas tradition with your family. So God bless, and we will see you guys later. And as always, please like and subscribe. Truly appreciate it. Bye-bye.